What's good, YouTube? It's Zion, also known as City of Zion. We in a 585 with it, and I'm in the most extremist cut. Like you can't even go here without like cutting through the path. I'm at the Maplewood Rose Garden right now. Yeah, at the motherfucking Ziggurat or whatever that shit is. Keep the fit though. Let me know what y'all think about the fit, low key. I ain't gonna lie. But so today, probably about to get right with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Smoke a little something. But this video is gonna be called "What Would God Look Like If You Were Born in a Garden or a Forest or a Jungle?" Because when you look at it in a modern perspective, it's like, okay, when most people look at God, they're gonna be looking at it from a perspective of this is the Bible, or the Bible says this, or this says that, and so on and so forth. The Quran, whatever it is. But it's like when you look at those first human beings that were born, Adam, Eve, or, you know what I'm saying, Adam and Lilith, or whatever the case may be is, their perception of God or their connection to God would be different than a human being today. And you really have to look at it like, okay, what if I was born in a motherfucking forest or a motherfucking jungle, and, you know, I didn't have a way to read to connect to God, you know what I'm saying? Or a middleman, you know what I'm saying? Because that's all a pastor is, or anybody who's really teaching you these things, is just a middleman to God. Which is why I'm making this video, because, you know, sometimes it's low-key like early in the morning. I was about to come a little bit earlier, but it was like I needed to get away. You feel me? Like, even with social media, it's like I be needing to get away, and it's like that shit, social media ain't even real. That shit is not real life. I can't affect or do anything to the things that I'm seeing in social media in real life. So it's like when it comes to like all these conflicts that are happening across the world, it's like, okay, I'm cognizant of it, but I don't have to let it control me or get me down, because like I can't do anything to help these motherfucking people who are dealing with certain shit. So that's when I get away, and that's when I connect to my higher self, or God. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I was born in a forest and I didn't have a Bible and I didn't have a Quran, my connection to God is as far as my eye can see and whatever it's telling me. Because at that point, I'm not connected to society by language, such as English, for example. Now my way of communication is way different. You feel me? So this video is more so like telling y'all to like go out and get in nature. Like, I know it's like, it's April, like it just snowed yesterday, just a little bit, but it's like, fuck that. Like today it said it's about to be 60. It ain't gonna be 60 to like 12 o'clock, but I'm like, fuck it. Like, I need to go now. Like, the shift I'm working right now, I'm doing like overnight shift, right? So I had yesterday off, and then today I gotta go in at 9, but I woke up early as a bitch today. So I just did everything in my due diligence to get right with myself, connect to myself, connect to my higher self. You feel me? Because, yeah, it's like the phone, I should low-key make this like a split video or a two-part or something. But the phone is like the ultimate distraction. Like, I had to let my phone die last night. I'm like, fuck it. Like, I ain't working it later anyway, so everybody's gonna have to wait till my shit is on in the morning. You feel me? Because I ain't trying to be doom scrolling till I gotta go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm in a cut, and it's like, it's weird because the waterfall is over there, but I still feel like I'm being rained on over here. It don't even make sense. Let me spark this bitch real quick. I think my lighter about to die. I was about to say this video is going to be over real quick. I was about to go to the store and get a lighter. I ain't even gonna hold. But you feel me? And then it's like, boom. A motherfucker would look at my vice of smoking weed. Be Christian. and say I'm in the wrong. Meanwhile, your God is telling you to drink my flesh and eat my blood. Shit crazy. Yeah, I'm not letting none of that slide today. We're gonna talk about all that shit when it comes to this religion, because I've been holding my tongue on it. Alright? So boom. Not only that, motherfuckers say we was born in sin. Then gonna get mad cause you was sinning. But say you was born in the shit. But then everybody who don't believe in Jesus is not gonna get saved, even though they was born in the sin. So explain that shit to me. Alright? Don't really explain it, because I'm not gonna be arguing with nobody in the comments about that shit. But the biggest thing for Christianity for me is I'm not worshiping a God that doesn't look like me, which is why it comes back to my original point of this video. What would God look like if you was born in a forest? What would your connection to God look like if you was born in nature? Because when you look at it, the so-called quote-unquote Native Americans were doing that. And then these motherfuckers came over here with books, with doctrines, with indoctrinations. Motherfucking spells, gang. They got the nerve to say what you are doing is wrong. Explain that shit to me. And now I gotta get on the Hebrew Israelites, because you see me, I was born and raised a Hebrew Israelite. You feel me? I may not know every verse of the Bible, but I know enough and I've read enough to where I understand. You know what I'm saying? I read the Apocrypha, you know what I'm saying? I read the Revelations, you know, all the books in between, boom, 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 growing up, studying that shit, boom, boom, boom. This is what doesn't make sense to me about y'all. Because then you gotta look at it like this. Boom. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, right? 12 tribes, boom. Now we gonna say, oh yeah, the Canaanites and the fucking Esau, the Moabites, all going to hell. Right? That's what they say. Now, when you look at it, ain't that what the motherfucking Jews are saying about you now? So when you look at it, it's like, what's the difference between being a Hebrew Israelite and a motherfucking Jew from Israel, besides your race? Because when you look at it, lifestyle-wise, I used to like watch some of the videos and be like, all right, boom, IUIC, Israel United in Christ. Now, they say that they're supposed to call him Yeshua and they're supposed to call him Yahawashi. But to get money from the federal government, you have to call him Christ. You can't call him any other name than that legally. So these motherfuckers is spending you some shit, meanwhile getting paid by the motherfucking government, who's the same motherfuckers. These are the same motherfuckers that they're saying needs to go to hell because they're Caucasians, getting paid by these people. And then when you look at it, any religion, any church, go anywhere. I've walked probably every block in Rochester, bro. And outside every church is a homeless person. So it's like, if they're not with your religion, fuck them. And even if they are, fuck them. Because I'm sure there's some homeless people that be outside of church that grew up Christian and just had fucked up circumstances or a fucked up life, etc., etc., etc. You feel me? So it's like, boom. Whose fault is that? But I know who's not helping them. The same motherfuckers that telling me I need to do this, that, and the third to get right with God. It's the same motherfuckers that's not helping the average person outside. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm wrong because I want to know my heritage. I'm not even going to say that I'm wrong. But because I want to know my heritage and all of these names. It's like when I reached a certain age, it's like all of these names started coming to me. It's like I started seeing signs like Shango, Oya, Yamaya, boom, boom, boom. From that pantheon, for example, or Asar, Heru, Aset from that pantheon, and then from the Hindu, Vishnu, Buddha, Shiva, Akali, and then next pantheon, so on and so forth. I'm like, yo, what's going on right now? It's like when I reached a certain age, around that 2020 time, is when shit started to flip the script for a lot of people in my generation. And the only thing that stopped this shit from been happening is the death of our leaders, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? I got my gripes with Martin Luther King, but it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther movement, boom, boom, boom. And the introduction of crack cocaine to the community, which Ronald Reagan had on live TV, meaning somebody had to make that shit for him to tell y'all what it was on live TV. And then you got to ask yourself, how did that shit get to the communities? Well, the government was dropping that shit off. And then when you look around in Rochester, 585, 2026 right now, you still see the effects of that. And then they gave us a phone to distract us from shit that was happening in real life. And then now we looking at it like, yo, the shit was going on in the 60s and it was in black and white and thinking it's mad long ago. And it's like, no, that shit never changed. They just gave you more shit to distract you from the change that was coming within you. It's deep. This is channeling. This is from the Most High. This is real shit. 24 elders, 9 in the root, all that. Motherfuckers do not be walking around with that connection every day. They may be making some connection to God. And it's like, okay, boom, let us create man in our image. So if let us create man in our image, and then we have the zodiac sign, which even Christians will acknowledge from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Even this is sin, boom, boom, boom. I still be seeing people of all religions acknowledge that. So then it's like, at that point, when is that coming to play? Because you'll see people of different religions, different customs, different races, and different forms and all kinds of shit. People be obese, skinny, fit, naturally, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, when does that come into play to where you have to realize that maybe we're not all the same? And that division is where shit gets fucked up. Because everybody doesn't have the same morals and customs. And then if we're all coming to a land to where everybody doesn't have the same morals and customs, and you see that certain customs or a certain lifestyle or a certain dress style or a certain kind of music or a certain kind of symbols don't get acknowledged or shunned, you have to realize what's going on besides the destruction of those people. Because when you look at the status quo, everybody who's with the shit ain't having no problems. You feel me? And it's like, I as a melanated being am supposed to believe that the being that created me is white. When I look at the history of people who look like that and see that it has been nothing but destruction and disconnecting me from my God. So if your God is telling you to do these things, because most Christians don't know the history of Christianity. They don't know about the Crusades and how these people were killing people for not being Christian, and how they were raping them and pillaging them and warring with them and all of the violent things that they were doing. All that shit is run by the Vatican Church. You feel me? And Christianity is widespread. But then when you talk about this hidden hand, this Illuminati or these unknown figures, and people actually try to identify it, it's just like, fuck it. You feel me? Them other people, the other Hebrew Israelites that live in the East. You know what I'm saying? Those people. The name that you can't say without being banned. The Zionist. And guess what my name is? Zion. Who do I look like? Their God. That might be a whole another thing. But it's like, you have to understand. Let us create man in our image. Who is us? Divine unity, the same consciousness, multiplied into however many amount of beings and however many amount of things are around you. So when you get to a theory of timelines, you have to understand you have the free will to make certain decisions. but some of that will was taken away when you came here. You know what we came here to do? Experience evil. No cap. That's what we came here to do. Experience evil. Because of what happened in the garden is true, and it's deep. Because in the garden, right? It's Adam and Eve in the garden. Let us create men in our image. 12 zodiac signs. Different forms and races. Different nationalities. Let us create men in our image. Then you research aliens. Riskians. They don't show you that though. When you look up aliens and they talk about aliens that look like humans, what do they show them looking like? Caucasians. Because let us create men in our image. So you have to understand, this talk about dinosaurs and these reptilians, these people don't just come up with this shit. All the concepts that exist in your head, if you could think it exists in some form or fashion. And if it doesn't, they're trying to make it happen, which is why they said a man went to the moon. Because they want access to something that they don't have, that you have. So they want you to believe these things that they're telling you so they can make it happen. It's deep, especially when you think about time travel, because when they're telling you the way this shit happened versus how it really happened, you're going to start to believe this shit happened. And it's going to be a whole mind fuck when you realize that it didn't happen the way that they said it happened and that you've been in this land. Because why would they bring people from another land to come here? Not to say that they didn't, but if there were people already here, right? And you look at how shit is going now, right? You gotta understand what I'm saying. It's like, how many of y'all can ask your grandma or spoke to your great grandma and she said that she was Native American? You feel me? My great grandma is Native American. And you know, that's the term, boom, 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 boom. But it's like, shit's so fucked up to where it's like when somebody says that, it's like, it's just as if you know thing. Like, melanated beings have been all over the planet. Vast empires, boom, boom, boom. You feel me? So it's like just different forms of shape. Because even white people have melanin, just not to the same extent that we do. And all these other races and nationalities and et cetera, et cetera. It's just there's an original being and then so on from that. To where we get people that look the way they do now. Because there's no way that you think that, like, no. Some people are more adept for the sun and some people are more adept for the snow and the winter and etc. But it's like, okay, but why? Why? You telling me, you know, it's like, no, because if you think about it, wouldn't the actual white person look like me then? If we all came from the same people? Hear me out. They would have the same facial structure, the same, you know what I'm saying? The whole shit would be the same. Like, it would just look the same, but they would just be a different complexion. But they don't. It's not just that. Their hair can't lock, you feel me? Their hair doesn't do the same as my hair, you know what I'm saying? Or your hair. It stands up. Our hair stands up. Theirs just goes straight down. It's like, what's that about? You feel me? Or even talk about cannibals. Like, cannibals. Like, where does that come from? And you talk about Cain and you talk about the Garden of Eden, because those beings that were there were awakened, and that's the real secret that religion is trying to take from you, that their God is trying to take from you, is that your God. Because what happened in the garden is that they realized that they were equal to their God that created them. And then that's when they had the free will to do whatever they did. Which when you look at it, it's like, isn't a mistake, because now when you look at it, look how the world is today. But that was a necessary evil to see that play out that way. to give those beings the free will to do whatever they wanted to do. And you have that power now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like to conceptualize yourself flying, or to conceptualize yourself teleporting, or conceptualize shooting laser beams, or fucking blasting kamehamehas out of your hands. It's like, okay, on some timeline or some form or fashion of reality, because I'm conceptualized and it has to exist. If you think like that, your reality will change, because that's how you attract, and that's how you manifest, and that's how you bring everything to you. That's how you connect to the Most High. You feel me? Being away from it and just being. That waterfall that's over there, it just is. It just is. It goes down, it crashes against the rock, and it makes the sounds that it does, and it just is. I watched this movie called it was All-Star Superman. It's a comic book too. And I think it was the Sphinx that they were talking to. And the riddle basically was, what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force? And his answer to that riddle was, they surrender. It just is. That's when they come to the understanding, and that's when they realize that they're the same being. And that's when, you know what I'm saying, the twin flames do what they do, the soulmates do what they do, and so on and so forth. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for y'all for now. But just really think about everything I said and get right with God, which is your higher self, which is your Most High. And just know that I'm a reflection of you. This phone, all of these things on this phone, it doesn't matter. Shit is all distractions. I'm using this as a means to communicate to you, because I can't do it telepathically if we don't have that connection. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you connect with the ancestors and all those beings, and so on and so forth. Omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. Peace, love, abundance. I love y'all. And this is City of Zion. Peace out.